Hello everyone, welcome back to Big Bear Automations. We are on day 9 of our Learn in a year. And if you don't know what we're talking about, then go back to day 1. I'll put a link in the chat. We have already self-hosted our n8n. We have done a few looks at triggers, and we have done a deep dive into webhooks. We are going to look at today is all about Cron and the Cron trigger. So let's get started. So here's a Cron trigger or a schedule trigger. How you get that in is you go here, search for schedule, and add it in, and there's your lovely Cron trigger. I'm just going to delete that for now. Something we'll have a look at in a second. Save that. So, what is a cron trigger? Well, imagine never having to remember to send a weekly report or automatically backing up your data every night while you sleep. It's the power of scheduling, and by the end of this video you'll know exactly how to set it up and any automations you can run on a schedule. So first of all, thank you. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, like, comment, all the good stuff. It really helps grow the channel and gives me some confidence in what I'm doing. So thank you if you have already, and please continue to do so. Before we dive into n8n, even though I just showed you the trigger, let's talk about what a cron job actually is. So the word cron comes from the Greek word chronos, which means time. Chronos. Hopefully my Birmingham accent isn't butchering that beautiful Greek word, but chronos is how I'm going to say it, and it means time. So let's think about it like this. You're asking a question. What is cron? Cron basically is a digital personal assistant that never sleeps, watches the clock 24/7, and automatically runs when you schedule it tasks. That's it. So instead of manually running a workflow every Monday morning, for example, you set it up once and it runs automatically every Monday at 9 a.m. forever, as long as it doesn't fail. So what examples? Let's have a look at some examples of what we can do here. So here's a few scheduled tasks. Daily backups. So important files are backed up daily. This ensures data safety and availability. Weekly sales reports. So send out sales that you can generate and send out to your email directors or whoever you need, whoever cares about the weekly sales report, sales team, I assume. Monthly invoice reminders. So if you need to do something on a monthly basis, like for example invoicing, then you can send a reminder once a month. Hourly website check is another good example. So automatically send the website's health and site uptime and performance and analytics, and send it all in an email to the various teams, and if they can see or even put it into a spreadsheet so that they can see uptimes and if it changes in the day, and you kind of get your automated analytics, which is pretty cool. So n8n, the cron trigger, is your gateway basically to scheduling, and we're going to have a look at it in action. So we're going to create a new workflow, which we've done so already, and I'll show you exactly how to configure a cron trigger. So just double click into it. On the left hand panel here, you've got trigger interval, days between triggers, trigger at hour, and trigger at minutes. So let's have a look at a few of these options. So every day is exactly as it says. I'm going to do days between the triggers, which is your number of days between each workflow trigger. So every day, every 2 days, etc. Give it a day. What time is it going to trigger? So these are on the hour, every hour, we can say on the minute, so 2:30 a.m. in the morning. Again, on the minute, every minute is going to trigger. Every second, probably a bit intensive, but every second, every hour, every day, every week, and then what day of those weeks you would want it to trigger. The hours, again, every month, so once a month, trigger on what day of the month. If the trigger doesn't have this day, the node won't trigger. So if you choose 28 or 29, and you go to February, as long as it's not a leap year, 28 is a leap year, 29, yeah. If you go to February, it won't trigger. So be careful of that. And then what time? Then you get on to custom. And this is where you can start getting really specific. So we'll go through some examples of these in a minute, but we're going to have a look at demoing a few configurations. So if you want a specific time, so let's say once a day at 9 a.m. you'd set that and it would trigger at 9 a.m. Easy. Again, if you wanted it at Sunday at 2 p.m, very easy to do. And then let's go and have a look at understanding the cron, the custom cron. So this is a little bit different. I don't think I've got no, I didn't get a thing for this, but basically a cron expression is just a string of numbers and symbols that describe when something should run. Will you use it? Probably not. I don't know why you wouldn't just use these. This is basically a drop down cron. That's all it's doing. But you can do a custom cron. Now, I could teach you or tell you that 0 equals second and 30 equals 30 minutes and 9 equals 9 a.m. on the hour. So if you wanted an example, this would be every day at 9 a.m. This one would be weekdays at 9 a.m. This one, God, it starts getting messy. This one is 9 a.m. on the 1st of every month. Right, so again, why would you do this, right? And also, why wouldn't you just do this? Give me a Cron expression for 9 a.m. on Sunday, please. Boom. Thank you. Done. Like, you don't need to understand, you don't really need to learn cron expressions. Now, if you really want to, you're more than welcome to go and learn it inside out, but do you need to? I would say no. As long as you realize what a cron trigger is, how it works, and that you can use this stuff instead of using that stuff, using the cron expression stuff, the custom, then there's no reason why you wouldn't do it. So obviously we wouldn't be able to test this unless we did it every minute. So if I shoot this over to here and show you what this workflow is. So this is going to return some fake sales data. It's going to format that sales data in a format that makes sense. So into a HTML, so that I can pass it into the Gmail HTML. We're going to create a HTML with a bit more data in it that's more like, hello, welcome, this is your sales, and then put the sales stuff in there. We're going to format it, so get rid of all the /n's so you don't have all the mad spacing. We're going to send the email, and then we're going to label the email. So to test this workflow, you wouldn't want to start with one of these. You'd probably want to start with a trigger manually, like so. And then once you test it, it will go through the workflow, send the email, let me just get my email up for you so you can see what this is actually creating. Sorry, it's been really slow. Right, I got it. Okay, bring it back. So this is what it's actually showing. So daily sales summary, it's giving you the sales out of the Google spreadsheet, formatting in a nice, sexier table view. I mean, HTML is terrible, probably update it. But you get the concept right, it's sending that out. Now that I've tested that with my test workflow trigger, I'm gonna delete that connection, delete that trigger, and this is where we're gonna get a cron. So I never recommend doing it in seconds, but every 5 seconds, save that, make it active, got it. It's going to send this out. So if we go to executions quickly, go here, in 5 seconds time, it should, fingers crossed, as long as it's active, I think it is, we'll send an email to this email. There you go. Well, there's 4. Let's stop that quickly. Yeah, as you can see, it's going to go crazy, which is exactly why I say don't do it every 5 seconds. But you get the gist, right? I'm going to delete that just in case. You get the gist that it will start sending emails, as many as you need, again, as you go through. I'm going to delete all this. As you go through the time that you give it for the cron side of things. So that's how I would set it up. Then I'd set up a short schedule just so you can see it working. And then what I would have go back then is go back and change it to the actual schedule that I need, because I know that it's working correctly. So there's a few tips and tricks here, and something that you just need to think about when you use cron, and that is your timing consideration. So remember time zones. So your n8n instance, whatever your server's time zone is the time zone that it will use. So if you're trying to do this for a client that's in a different time zone, remember to take that into consideration. I would avoid peak hours for heavy operations. So for example, if you're doing, you know that you've got loads of automations that will happen in the middle of the day, say lunchtime's a big processing time, then why would you set your scheduler to be at lunchtime when you know that the instance is going to be hit heavy? So I would do it at a time where you know it's going to be quiet, middle of the night, 2 a.m, 3 a.m, whatever time. If you need it to be at a 9 a.m, for example, because you know people are already checking their emails, then just try and make it less operational heavy and try and make it just simple, quick, easy, nice, easy one, nothing too drastic. And again, if you are doing multiple of these, so say you've got 6 workflows that are all scheduled, do it at different times, like do it 10 minutes between them or something like that, so you're not rinsing your instance and your CPU and all that sort of stuff. You don't want to be too mad with it. Again, error handling, always test your workflows manually first, set up your error notifications for critical scheduled tasks. So if it's like the director or the CEO needs this report by 9 a.m, otherwise the world's going to end, then make sure to add some sort of error handling. If it didn't work or the execution didn't succeed, like make sure there's an error workflow that you can capture. And also check your execution history regularly. So you might think that it's working, but if it isn't, you wouldn't know if you haven't put your error handling correctly. So make sure that you're checking it every other day or every 4-day, 5 every week, or however you want to do it. If it's that critical, just have a look at it. And use longer intervals when possible to reduce your server load again. So just be mindful of, this is going to run every time at that time, all the time, unless I tell it not to. Cool. So now let's wrap that up a little bit, and we'll look at what's next. So we've set up a Cron Trigger for any schedule. We've built automatic workflows that run without us and send emails. We've tested the schedule workflows properly, and we've created a real world automation, like this daily summary email that we've done here. Tomorrow, we're going to look at understanding nodes, the building blocks of every n8n workflow. And if this has saved you time, manual work, if you like what you're learning, you're understanding more around what Cron is, then please subscribe for the daily tutorials. Comment below, get involved, tell me what you want to see. We'll build out workflows. Maybe you want to see another Cron workflow or webhook workflow. Reach out and we'll build these out together. And if you're a business and you just want someone to help you to automate, to get your AI agents working, to get AI involved in anything, or automate your daily tasks, then please reach out to the email provided in the screen. Other than that, please subscribe, get involved, let's chat. Cheers, guys.